Oh, yay. But are trusted and open without force or perversion. Since its inception, the town of Bradford has been a community of the involved who take the responsibility of self-government. Hello, ladies, come, celebrate, with trust. Lord, please welcome our town CEO, Mr. Jeff Knight, our master of ceremonies.
Thank you very much. That is a first for me. I've never had applause before, so thank you. Please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, the Town of West Gwillimbury's 2022-2026 Council Inauguration. In case that wasn't clear, my name is Jeff McKnight. I have the good fortune to be the town CAO and the great privilege to be your MC for this evening. Through our commitment to reconciliation, the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury acknowledges the land on which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Nation, which includes Ojibwe, Odawa, Potawatomi Nation, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. We recognize that the Huron-Wendat, Chippewa, and Haudenosaunee nations have walked on this territory over time. In times of great change, we recognize more than ever the importance of honoring Indigenous history, culture, and we are committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation, respect, and good health with all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. I'd now like to invite the students from Music in Motion Performing Arts Studio to share their talents with us as they lead us in the singing of our national anthem. Please join me and stand if you're able. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. It's my great pleasure to welcome you here this evening for the inauguration of your 22-26 Town Council for the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury. This is a special evening for our new council as they get to share their inauguration with the many friends and family that helped them over the past few months during their campaigns. Your support, many of you are in this room now, your support led directly to their success, and I know they'll be thanking you tonight and over the months to come. I know that our council would also like to thank our municipal neighbors, partners, and special guests who have joined us tonight, including Councillors Laura Lee Crothers and Scott Crow from the town of East Gwillimbury. I did see them. Don't be shy. Your hand. Oh, you got the best seats there. Thank you. Mayor Sandy McDonald and Deputy Mayor Mike Smith from Essa Township. Mayor Rick Milne, Mayor-elect Richard Norcross, and Deputy Mayor-elect Stephanie McClellan from the town of New Tecumseh. Thank you. And joining us from the County of Simcoe, we have Warden George Cornell, Rob Elliott, General Manager of Engineering, Planning and Environment, and Nancy Huther, Director of Economic Development and Airport Services. And we have Inspector Henry Jeffroy on behalf of Acting Chief John Van Dyke of the South Simcoe Police Service. Also with us is former Ward Councillor Mark Contois, former Mayor Frank Jonkman, and our now Mayor Emeritus Rob Keffer and his wife Jean. Thank you all for joining us tonight. For myself, and I think many of us, fall is a time for reflection. At the end of the year, as the end of the year approaches, we look back on how our lives unfolded over the past year and look forward to whatever new challenges and adventures will be in front of us in the coming year. I think it's appropriate that a term of council follows this same cycle. As this audience is well aware, in Ontario, we hold our municipal elections every fourth year in the fall. And this provides people across the province, so much like your own personal reflection, this provides the whole province with an opportunity to think back over what transpired in their communities over the past 4 years and discuss and share their aspirations for the forthcoming 4 years in that election cycle. They then hand those aspirations over to a new term of council and trusting them with determining how to best move forward their towns and cities. And that brings us to tonight's event. We're here to celebrate the first formal gathering of our new council. These 9 people have worked tirelessly over the past several months to connect with their neighbors and make new acquaintances to demonstrate their commitment to public service. This effort deserves recognition beyond the results of election night. And so I say on behalf of your staff, the people in this room and the 40,000 some odd other residents that call Bradford West Gwillimbury's home, on behalf of them, we say thank you. Thank you for dedicating a big part of your lives over the next 4 years to your community. We look forward to working with you as you lead us in turning the dreams and aspirations you've collected over these past few months and turn them into reality. Now, I know you're eager to get to work, so without further delay, our council-elect will now take their declaration of office. So I'd like to call upon His Worship, Justice of the Peace, Roberto Zito, to conduct the swearing in of council with the assistance of our town clerk, Rebecca Murphy.
Good evening, everyone.
We'll first call upon His Worship, Mayor James Leduc.
I, James Leduc, have been elected to the office of mayor the municipality of the corporation of the town of Bradford, Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of mayor to the best of my knowledge and ability, that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office, any biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. That I disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty the King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as made under oath.
Deputy Mayor Raj Sandhu.
I, Raj Sandhu, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor in the municipality of the Corporation of Town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Deputy Mayor to the best of my knowledge and ability, that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear the true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Councillor Ward 1, Geraldine Dehaney.
I, Geraldine Dehaney, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 1 in the municipality of the Corporation of the Town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Councillor Ward 1 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as it made under oath.
Councillor Ward 2, Jonathan Scott.
I, Jonathan Scott, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 2 in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Councillor Ward 2 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Counselor Ward 3, Ben Verkuyk.
I, Ben Verkuyk, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 3, the municipality of the corporation of the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Councillor Ward 3 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof to the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear the true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration consciously believing to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as if I made under oath.
Counselor Ward 4, Joseph Giordano.
I, Joseph Giordano, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 4 in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Councillor Ward 4 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make the solemn promise and declaration. Sorry, I can't read that. Conscientiously and believing it to be true, knowing that the same force and effect is made under oath. Show where my glasses.
Council is in denial in regard to his classes.
But that's all right.
Counselor Ward 5, Peter Ferragini.
I, Peter Ferragini, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 5 in the municipality of the town, the corporation of the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Councillor Ward 5 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. This is terrible. Yeah, I see it.
It would be that because it's liquid ink or number.
Thank you so much. Can we get a new pen?
No, it's working. It's still working. Yeah, the council from Ward 4. I pressed it so hard that I have to straighten this out. That's what's.
Counselor, Ward 6, Nicholas Harper.
I, Nicholas Harper, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 6 in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise the office of Councillor Ward 6 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. That I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. And that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty the King, Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Counselor Ward 7, Peter Dykey.
I, Peter Dykey Jr., having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 7 in municipality of the corporation of the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and personally execute the office of Councillor Ward 7 to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in bias or corrupt or any other improper manner. That I will disclose or any peculiar interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. That I will faithfully bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I will make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it is true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as made under oath.
And now you're focused about it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I believe this one?
Congratulations, everyone. Councillor Dykey was sharing with me earlier that he was first elected 36 years ago, I think it was. 37, sorry. 37 years ago, and I'm quite sure at the time when signing, he would have used a quill and an inkwell So that would have taken care of the pen problem we had tonight. I'd now like to call up former Mayor Rob Keffer to present our new mayor, James Leduc, with the chains of office.
Good evening, everyone, and it is a pleasure to join you on this inaugural meeting, the first meeting of the 2022-2026 Council of the Town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury. Congratulations to the new council. You have all worked hard and met thousands of residents during the campaign, and you will all do a great job representing our citizens. I have the honor of presenting the chain of office to our new mayor, James Leduc. Congratulations, James. I think that we can. It is a keepsake that represents the history as our town's coat of arms on it. It is traditionally passed on to future heads of council. Congratulations, James. Wear the chain properly and also acknowledge it. James, if you come over here. Thank you for joining us for the inaugural. 20 years ago. Oh, there's lots of folks struggling. Extremely important. Thank you. Yeah. A little bit of 20 years ago, I was standing here today. That's quite extraordinary. Voted council, dedicated staff. I think we live in a country where we have democracy, democratic freedom, vote at all levels of government. That's good. The vote counts. The vote matters. That's for me. That's for me. Privilege comes. You'll have to stand before you tonight. Never get to realize the accomplishments. Try to make change the will. And a trajectory.
I'm excited to continue working with the returning members of council. Raj, your years on council will definitely benefit your new role as deputy mayor. I look forward to continuing our work together and sharing in your thoughts of prioritizing responsible fiscal spending, employment growth, and more. Jonathan, who is committed to revitalizing the older end of town to protect the environment and support our most vulnerable. I look forward to supporting and continuing this work with you. Peter Ferragini, as a seasoned member of council, I look forward to continuing the work we have started and building on our new strategy. As a newly formed council, I echo your sentiments in priorities being traffic, road safety, and value for the tax dollars for our residents. Peter Dykey, as a veteran on council, I look forward to continuing our work together and drawing on your experience. I continually agree that the official plan is important and road safety is a huge priority. We are aligned in our thinking. I'm equally excited to begin my working relationship with each new member of council. Cheryl Dean, who is committed to making this community an even better place to live and wants to be a part of a council that comes together quickly as a cohesive unit. I couldn't agree more, Cheryl Dean. Welcome aboard. Ben, who is looking forward to making a difference in town. Welcome, Ben. I look forward to working alongside you. Joseph is advocating for traffic control and better speed mitigation in Summerlin, new amenities and businesses, and more events for improved community spirit. Welcome to the team, Joseph. I look forward to working with you. We all want to love where we live. Great community spirit right there. Nicholas, who is looking forward to hearing and diving deep into the issues brought up during the election. Welcome to council. Having an ear for the residents' concerns is definitely fundamental. I look forward to working alongside you as well. Cheryl Dean, Ben, Joseph, and Nicholas, congratulations and welcome to the team. Tonight, you are all committing to serve our community through your leadership. Through our conversations so far, I feel your sense of honor and enthusiasm for doing just that. I look forward to your fresh perspectives and building on the work of our past council. Raj, Jonathan, Peter, Ferragine, and Peter Dykey, welcome back, my friends. I would like to thank each of you for the work and time you have dedicated in the past terms. It has been my absolute honor to work with you, and I look forward to continuing on our collaborative path towards creating a thriving town of Bradford, Gwillimbury that our residents are proud to call home. I'm also looking forward to working with municipal staff who work tirelessly for BWG. It has been a pleasure working with you thus far, and I want to recognize you as a fundamental to the success of running our community. From our first responders, police, ambulance, fire, to public works, parks and rec staff, tax office, engineering department, it truly takes a village. And finally, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all those who put their names forward and campaigned. To our non-returning council members, Ron Orr, Gary Lamb, and Mark Contois, thank you for the years on council. To all other candidates, it took a lot of courage, work, time, and energy to run for a seat on council. I acknowledge and appreciate your desire to serve your community and your efforts to run. Bradford, West Gwillimbury is one of the fastest growing municipalities in our province. On one hand, with this growth comes increased diversity, inclusiveness, a greater sense of culture within the community. On the other hand, growth also means greater challenges, increasing needs and expectations. Over the next 4 years, I'm committed to delivering on the pillars that I have strategically outlined as part of my campaign platform: housing, traffic congestion, post-pandemic recovery, and development of deployment lands. When it comes to housing, we'll explore every opportunity to ensure the housing needs of our expanding community are met at every income bracket with the support of our federal and provincial ministers, all while maintaining our agricultural roots and doing our best to preserve our farmlands. Traffic congestion is another big concern within our municipality, but rest assured, it will be one of our focal areas over the next term. Namely, we will prioritize the 8th line, reconstruction, and complete the Southwest Arterial Road project. Although we're happy to see the pandemic behind us, many are still feeling the after effects caused by this period. For our local post-pandemic recovery, our municipality will continue working with our local business owners and offer our support, including job fairs, chasing down economic grants, and providing other supportive programs. And lastly, we need to focus on continuing to develop our 400 employment lands. Although we've experienced a favorable increase in our tax ratio over the last 15 years, I would like to steer our efforts to attracting and retaining even more industrial, commercial, and institutional services along our employment lands. These plans are, of course, not possible without the support of my fellow council and our town staff and the trust of our community. I feel the support in the room this evening. For myself and my new colleagues who were brave enough to put their name forward, to campaign hard, to win your vote, who have taken responsibility to hear you, address your concerns, and work collectively with this new council. One quote that really resonates with me as I stand before you today is one by Dr. Deliola, author of Pursuit of Personal Leadership. I quote, "We cap our ability to succeed when we work solo. When we come together, we multiply both ideas and effort. We increase the capacity to succeed." End quote. The commitment I make this evening is also to our newly formed council. I commit to working together as a team, being accepting of your ideas, and demonstrate thoughtful leadership. And I hope you feel my sincere excitement to be part of this team for the next 4 years as we forge ahead, continuing to build an even better Bradford West Gwillimbury. I'd like to conclude with a few thank yous. Thank you to our esteemed guests who have joined us here tonight, and to those responsible for making the evening celebration a special one. I also want to thank some of my very special people who have supported and championed my campaign. Amanda McDermott-Small, Chuck Skitch, Bill Bargent, Steve Goche, just to name a few, as there are many others. And finally, to my family, those who have truly sacrificed. Over the past 20 years, there are people who have had their time with me cut short, interrupted, and reprioritized. They have not only stuck with me through it all, but they have encouraged, supported, and inspired me to keep going, pushing through and reaching my full potential. They have my back unconditionally. So I thank you, my beautiful partner, Jackie, my daughter, Chelsea, her husband, Mike, and my 3 beautiful grandchildren, Colin, Owen, and Benjamin, and my son, Ryan, and his wife, Alex. And not to be forgotten, my parents, as they're unable to be here tonight, Mother Mary Beth and Hector, for their 61 years of support and encouragement. I love you all. Thank you all. I'm sorry, I now call up Deputy Mayor Raj Sandhu to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor Leduc. Your worship, Mayor Leduc, members of council, both new and returning, families of council, and all distinguished guests. Good evening, and thank you for taking the time to be here tonight as we begin this new term of council. I would like to begin by congratulating my colleagues on their successful campaigns and all those that have filed to run in this election. I know over the last several months, a lot of time was spent on knocking on doors, answering phone calls, making new friends, and getting to know our town even better. Campaigns are hard work, but please be assured that I and we as collective council know that the real work begins today as we set out on behalf of all residents and businesses. It is an honor to serve as BWG's deputy mayor. I feel both humbled and privileged to be in this position. I have heard you loud and clear at the doors and through emails, all your concerns and suggestions. I will be working with my colleagues to address concerns of safety and traffic congestion, bringing additional employment to town, and exploring options for housing, including affordable housing. And of course, doing so while being fiscally responsible with your tax dollars. In elections, volunteers are the backbones of campaigns. And I was truly blessed to have so many volunteers who worked on the campaign as if they were the candidate. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank each and every volunteer. I would also like to thank my family who were always there for me. Thank you to my wife, Rana, for always being there, encouraging and working alongside me all these years. Also, thank you to my youngest daughter, Simran, and my son, Tarn, for their help and support. A special thank you to my daughter, Karen, who took a leadership role in managing this campaign alongside my good friend, Lacinio Magallo, and they did so brilliantly. Thank you. I would also like to thank my brothers Ranjit, Pete, Serge, and their families whose countless hours of volunteering I can never fully repay. A special thank you to my mom and dad, who were always by my side, always giving me word of encouragement, advice, and even I'm at 52, they don't shy away from grabbing my ear. I also want to thank my friends. You know, some of them are here in the audience: Sarbi, Gurpal, Mahesh, Miriam, Amir. They all took the role of as if this was their campaign. And that meant a lot to me. Thank you. I wouldn't be doing it justice if I don't thank our town staff, because they have always been there for our residents. They have always been there for our colleagues, my colleagues and myself as council. So thank you, Mr. McKnight and your whole team. In closing, I would like to thank you, the voters who made this possible for all of us. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Yeah, I would like to invite Councillor Ward 1, Councillor Duhaney.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Tonight, I am humbled, and I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you, especially Ward 1. Thank you. Thank you to my volunteers. Thank you so much. Tonight, I want to especially thank my daughter, Shekinah Duhaney, who was my campaign manager. I want to thank Jennifer Lloyd, who is my senior manager. I want to thank Richarda RV, who was our social media manager. And I also want to thank my volunteer team. Special thank you to Miriam as well. So I want you guys to just give them a round of applause. Thank you. I want to thank everyone who have encouraged me along the way with your words of encouragement. Thanks to my donors, because of course, if you don't know, running a campaign is not cheap. All right, especially if you want to send a message out there. Yes, being the candidate is a powerful tool of your campaign, and of course, the message that you're sending. But you need media marketing. That's what also speaks. So I would like to thank my donors for making that possible as well. My commitment to Ward 1, knocking those doors, nothing has changed today. It is the same, and it will forever be the same for the next 4 years. I promise that I will be your responsive resource that will take your concerns, your priorities, and your ideas to town council and get things done. Tonight, I celebrate our new councillors. I celebrate our mayors and returning councillors. Welcome. I'm looking forward to working with you for the next 4 years. And most importantly, I'm looking forward to working with our community to build Bradford, to make Bradford a better community. My promise is to advocate more for programs and services for youths in our community. This is something that I always say, the best investment that you could ever make, and that is in the lives of our youth. They are the future generation. Another is safety in our community. Knocking the doors, these are the things that I've been hearing at the doors, that safety is a concern. Traffic management is a concern. And as your counselor, as promised, I will advocate to ensure that we have that and that is done in our community. I also would like to take this time to thank my husband and my children. I'm a mother of 4, and every day campaigning day and night, my husband hold it down. Dropping the kids to school, making supper. I don't know what, I don't even know what they eat, because I'm out knocking those doors, and it is the truth. I would like to thank my faithful friends, my family, my dad, my mom, my sisters. They're here. My parents, stand up, let them see you, please. Yeah, I'm bragging about my parents. My dad is in the house. My mom is in the house. I'm see you. from Jamaica. And I'm here to represent. Thank you, Bradford, Gwillimbury, for making me your. Thank you. Now, Councillor Jonathan Scott.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us to mark this historic occasion as we begin a new term of council, transitioning from the last term to the next one. Nearly 2 years ago, I had what I think is sort of the elopement equivalent of this ceremony in the clerk's office, just signing by myself with Rebecca Murphy. And it's amazing to think how quickly the past 2 years have already flown by. Tonight, as we mark this important milestone, we can reflect on what we want to achieve going forward. This new council has the opportunity to continue Bradford's reputation as a team that works well together. We'll have a renewed focus on getting things done and making a positive difference. I also want to acknowledge and celebrate some of the history that's particularly being tonight. To, I believe, Canada's first Sikh Deputy Mayor, Raj Sandhu, Mubarakam. Congratulations. And boy, tough act to follow, but congratulations to Geraldine Duhaney, the first Black woman ever elected to our council. I want to congratulate His Worship, Mayor James Leduc. I know how hard you've worked for the past 16 years on council and in this campaign. To all my fellow councillors on their election victories, especially I will give a shout out to Peter Duncan as he starts year 37 of his term on council. And I also want to thank everyone who ran and contributed to our democracy. On a personal note, I want to thank my family who are here tonight, as well as those who supported me. All the volunteers, donors, lawn sign hosts, and supporters who made my campaign such a success. In particular, thank you to Dylan McDowell, Patrick Smith, Ann Cordes, Liz Davidson, and Wasim Jara. Running in 2 elections in under 2 years was a unique opportunity to really connect with the voters in Ward 2, to listen to them at their doorsteps and at community events. The mission that Ward 2 voters have returned me to council with for a full term is very clear. We need to continue to get things done to revitalize the older end of town. That means delivering on interconnected and transformational projects such as Holland Street and the Decline, revitalizing this community center into a town hall, rec center, and Central Park, and our riverfront trail system. We also need to continue the progress we're making on rehabilitating older roads and older parks. These projects are interconnected and they'll help us deliver positive change. This also must be done with a focus on fiscal responsibility, protecting the environment, and supporting the vulnerable. It also must be done working collaboratively, effectively, and fairly with the other levels of government from the county, the province, and the federal government. This is what Ward 2 voters have said loud and clear in the last 2 elections. Get things done, work well together, deliver positive change, and above all, revitalize the older end of town. My hope is that we'll look back in 4 years and be impressed at all the progress we've made. It's my honor to serve the older end of town, and I'm excited to get back to work together as a team. Thank you. And with that, to introduce Ward 3 Councillor Ben Verkuyk.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. I'd like to congratulate my fellow councillors, and I look forward to working with you for the next 4 years. We live in a time of competing values, big homes versus affordable housing, houses versus farmland, highways versus wetlands, spending for the services we expect versus property taxes, provincial mandates versus common sense. None of these are bad things. We need housing and we need to preserve farmland. We need highways and we need to preserve wetlands. We need common sense and, well, maybe not all those provincial mandates. We need to find the right balance in everything for the present and especially for the future, and that will take some wisdom. A wise person listens more than they speak. As councillors, I hope that we listen to each other, our town staff, and most importantly, our fellow residents. Only then can we make the wise decisions to make Bradford, West Gwillimbury a better place to live now and in the future. You know, it was disappointing that 7 out of 10 people didn't vote in this election, and hopefully we can engage more people to come out and vote next time. I'd really like to thank the 30% of the people that did vote, whether they voted for me or my fellow candidates. I was glad to see you participate, and thank you. I'd like to thank everyone who encouraged me and helped me on the campaign, and my family for putting up with me, gone for most late afternoons, evenings, and Saturdays for 6 weeks. I look forward to working with town staff, my fellow councilors, and the residents of Bradford, West Gwillimbury over the next 4 years, and pray that I do the best I can for this awesome town. Thank you and God bless. I'd like to introduce Joseph Giordano.
All right, I won't make this mistake again. All right. Thank you for this honor. I'm standing before the people of Bradford, West Gwillimbury as a newly elected Ward 4 councillor, and I'm super excited to be working with this amazing group of gentlemen and lady. We have a lot of passion up here, and that's something that is really important to me. I'm really excited about these new responsibilities and opportunities to utilize my portfolio skills with the team and with the community. So passion and drive is a trait that's something I don't know if I was born with or my family has nurtured into us, but it's something that we're always looking to do to improve and to always get to the next level. My business sense, whether it's fiscal responsibility, common sense management, optimization of dollars and assets, ultimately, I'm here and I think we're all here to drive more value. And lastly, which is extremely important, which kind of opened me up to this, is community and culture. James, you mentioned my tagline, which was love where you live. And that's really, when I crafted that tagline or that campaign, there's a lot of layers behind that. And basically the word love can mean so much. And in our community, we need it, whether it's passion for the hard work or respect for each other, and ultimately really just enjoying our families and our neighbors. That's why I decided to run for council. So I want to start with some thank yous. First off, I want to thank the community of Ward 4. I thought a lot of people until I started knocking on doors, and I realized, wow, there's a lot more people than I thought. And those conversations that we had at the door were fantastic. Not only did I craft new friendships, I've met amazing new cultures, and on top of it, created new friendships and alliances with people that basically we all have a common goal. And that takes me back to my tagline, which is to love where we live. That was an amazing experience. And I'll be honest with you, I appreciate the kindness and everyone that was at the door. I couldn't believe how nice our community is. I knew we had an amazing community, but until you knock on the doors and speak to the people, then you start to realize we are truly blessed to live in a community with this many fantastic human beings among us. Speaking of fantastic human beings, I'd like to thank my wife, Christina. If you know Christina, she's kind of tough because I'm a creative guy. Like, we're always utilizing the house. And when I decided to run for council, the first thing she said is, well, if you're going to do it, you know you're going to win. I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, everything you do, you put 110% into. And she goes, I got your back. And that was important because without family and support, it's really hard to really enjoy the process. And speaking of support, I have two amazing people that were on my campaign team, my daughter Mila and my daughter Lilia. And those two girls, I'm so proud because what they did, my campaign team was very small. It was my wife and my two kids. But what I taught them was hard work, perseverance, community, respect, and overall, I couldn't believe how all of a sudden they started talking to the doors for me. I just stood back and smiled and said, oh, what did I create? But thank you guys very much. Thank you for your time. And I know you missed some play dates, but overall, come on, it was cool. You got to hang out with me. And I want to also thank all my amazing family, friends, and neighbors in Bradford. When I moved here, the first few minutes, unloading the truck, I got yelled at from across the street to come over. And within 25 minutes, I built amazing friendships that are truly our symbol of what Bradford's all about. Different cultures, different personalities, but ultimately good people. And so I was really excited when I moved here, and now on council, I look forward to expanding that relationship with all of you, not just in my ward, but across the town. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to working with the new council and the very talented BWG staff. There's a lot of strength and knowledge here, and I plan on working with everybody and leveraging everyone's best strengths to do what we can to make this the best town it can be. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you very much, and don't forget to love where we live. Peter Ferragini. No speech. 2 minutes. Tonight. This is now important evening for everybody. All worked really hard, and now they're elected into council. I'm looking very forward to working with the new council. Candidates that put their names forward who actually ran for council. It's a big job. It's a lot of work. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of time away from your family, but you know what you're doing for your community, and that's why we're here. Ago, this is my 3rd term. I'm extremely fortunate. The residents in Ward 5 who voted me back in. I truly appreciate all your trust, all your support. I look forward to working with you again, and I look forward to working with this council again. And I'd like to give a big shout out to my family who's here to support me. My brother, my dad, my mom. They make this easy one. Important events to run to. The reins. They say, Peter, you go. No problem. We got it. We'll hold it down for you. And you need that support. That's what helps me. And to my wife and my kids, Amanda, Anthony, the one living like a crazy lunatic. To me, there's a great man. You're my support. You're my you keep me. You put the I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you. Thanks. So congratulations to all the members of council. Mayor Leduc, Deputy Mayor Raj, Sandu. So I'm not really going to go into promise thing. I said that a lot. In fact, I'm just going to tell you about a story that helped inspire me to be staying where I am today. And it's a lot of the times, it's actually one of the stories. I was out knocking on the door, and I walked up to an elderly couple at a door, and first thing right out of his mouth, he's like, "What for me?" And well, I would like your votes to make change happen. He looks at me, shakes my hands. Okay, you got it. And wants to go back inside. He says, "Good luck." And I'm thinking, okay, you don't want to know why? Well, blank or pause. Nope. Okay. I wish all the doors were this easy. But at that moment, he goes, "You know, I'm going to tell you why you have our votes." He says, "I know who you are. You've come to my door 4 times. Each time you were polite. You answered my questions. You know the issues and concerns that is happening in this area. But the one thing that's making me go and vote for you is," he said, so we both laugh.
He goes, "Well, then the videos and the choices I would have made or I make have nothing to do with how we live now, or how your kids are gonna live, or how you live. We need new blood, younger ideas that are relevant to the times we're living in right now, that will shape this town to be a success for a future of everyone here." I was humbled by his comments and I said, "Thank you." And just before he walks in the door, he turns to me and says, "You're going to win. Because you care a lot." And says, "If you keep caring for us, we're going to keep caring for you, Mr. Harper." And here we are. Your voices, your votes mattered and made a difference in this election. And that's reflective of the councilors and the mayor and deputy mayor you see today. And it resonates with everything that we're saying, is that we want to make change happen. And you've heard all the concerns. I share them. Well, I couldn't have made all these couldn't have done here. I couldn't have been here all by myself. I couldn't have done it without all the people that have voted for me, supported me, and my amazing team. So I started off as a small, close-knit circle. But by the campaign, we grew into a multitude of numbers. And I swear, it looked like I was building an empire of supporters. And I couldn't have done it without a few key people in this community. And I'd just like to name them. Jim and Carol Collier. Peace, man. But Derek and Marley, Kelly, Becker, North, to volunteer members of my team, to my our military, the veterans, who rallied behind me, with the support from all across this country, this province, and this town. Thank you. To my children, I'm a father of 4 children. Feel pity for my wife. They played a huge part in giving me strength. Now at the end, Aaron, home, Daddy loves you. Thank you. But my eldest daughter Leah is here, and I just want to say thank you. I hope this has proven that hard work can pay for dividends and success. And thank you for your support. Your foundational support gave me focus, making sure my home and children were well loved in my commitment to this election process. I love you. Thank you. Love you, Stephanie. Your conditional support is all any man or a candidate could ever ask for from his partner in running for an election. You gave me the fortitude and determination to give it everything I got. And you gave me conviction to never second guess anything in my path. So I love you. Thank you. This journey has just begun for us. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for this opportunity. It is my honor to be your Ward 6 counselor in Bradford, West Gwillimbury. Thank you very much. And introduce Councillor Peter Dykey Jr.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be here tonight. And after 37 years of being a counselor, you'd think this would be easy. But I'd like to start off acknowledging the people who helped me arrive for tonight, this moment tonight. First of all, many thanks to the people that signed my nomination papers, which enabled me to run for the 11th election. I feel so blessed that the people of Ward 7 are allowing me to represent them again. I've had the honor of serving with 5 mayors, and no 2 mayors are the same. I'd like to take a moment to thank Mayor Kepper for his service, for being such a great ambassador for our town for the last 8 years. He's always gave me a great encouragement and made sure to lend an ear when I needed to vent. As well, a special shout out to Jean Kepper for her tireless work in helping us improve our community. As well as we're honored with Frank Junkman. I had the honor to serve under Frank as a counselor, and I must say I've seen how much dedication Frank gave to our community. A lot of things are planned. It takes years to come to tuition, but I want to take a moment to thank Frank Junkman. I'd also like to mention the Bradford West Gwillimbury staff who help our counselors make our job a heck of a lot easier. A big shout out to our CEO, Jeff McKnight, and our management and his management team. We'd like to congratulate our new mayor, James Leduc, and also our deputy mayor, Raj Sandhu, as well my fellow councilors, new and old. I'm looking forward to working with you all for the next 4 years. For all the candidates that ran, I understand what a tough job it is. And I'd like to congratulate you all for your hard work that you ran in your campaigns. Lastly, I'd like to thank my team that helped me through this thick and thin, rain and shine. Without you, I wouldn't be here tonight. So thank you to my father who's watching home on live stream tonight, my sons Justin and Aiden, and my work staff who held down the fort that I could go out to the community and meet all the people and go door knocking, canvassing one by one. A great counselor has to be a good listener and also have a thick skin. And I must say that they say that every year you serve on council, you add five years to your age. So if this is true, I should be sitting down. But one of the key things that I have learned after all these years, it does take a village. And I'm very lucky enough to live in the best one of all. So I would like to wish you all a good health and much happiness in the next years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Ducky. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, I give you your 2022-2026 council for the town of Bradford West Gwillimbury. So that brings the formality to an end. Thanks so much again for joining us. I'd like to thank our special guests, families and friends. I'd like to provide a special thank you to our fantastic town crier, John Webster, our piper, Peter Fleming, the students from Music in Motion Performing Arts Studio, our honor guard from South Central Police Services, and his worship, Zito. Thank you so much for making this a special night for us all. I'd also like to thank our great team of staff for organizing and staging tonight's event, including Valerie Vickery. Quick little hand, take some recognition here. Cara Reynolds, Stephanie Anderson, Karen McKenna, Jen Kinsella, Chris Harbour, Elena Chisholm, Monica Marquez, Victoria Simoes, Karen Gill, and our whole facilities team. So thank you all very much. We'll move on now to some delicious refreshments. We all hope that you can stay and join and partake in that and spend some more time. Please enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful night. Before our council disperses, if you could stay up here for a couple of photos, family are welcome to come up and take a group photo with everyone together here. So thank you very much.